it actually happens, they're going to continue to fight and be a voice for their family members, because we continue to hear reports about these deals, but in their eyes, no action is actually being held. So that's why we continue to see them marching towards Jerusalem. Look at all of these tents set up, dozens of tents for all of the different family members who this is the second night they'll be staying in some of these tents on their way to Jerusalem, because they want to continue to be a voice for their loved ones. 239 that remain at least held hostage in Gaza for the past 40 days. And when I'm speaking to some of the family members, they say for the past 40 days they haven't been able to sleep, they haven't been able to eat. All they can do is continue to think about the conditions that their loved ones might be in. And so for them marching here, this is an easy task, because they haven't been able to do anything else except for have a voice for their loved ones. And so they're calling on also not just for the families and friends to come out here and be a voice for those hostages, but for all of Israeli citizens as well to continue to be a voice, because in their eyes, the Israeli government has abandoned them. They say they haven't been doing enough, so they don't want their fellow citizens to abandon them as well. And let me tell you, they absolutely have not. Seeing how everyone is coming together out here, this is just something that the forum for the families and the hostage forum, this is what they have been doing, organizing events like this really since October 8th, since the day after the massacre. And so now 40 days in, they continue to organize events like this. But this march from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem is certainly one of the longest and one of the largest demonstrations that they've had. And they want to continue to bring those voices and continue to show their desperation and their anger. So although there might be reports for hopefully a hostage deal for the families that are here, until they actually get to see their loved ones and hug their loved ones and be face to face to them again, something they haven't had for the past 40 days, that's when they'll fully believe that a deal is actually being happened.
Right, and they keep saying release everybody, release all of them. Now, what happens if we have just a small deal, maybe 50 people, maybe a little more, maybe a little less? This is very hard for the families.
It's incredibly hard. And although for the families who might get to receive their loved ones, as we've seen with 4 hostages who have been released or rescued so far, it's very emotional for those families. And all of the families here who might still have their loved ones held captive in Gaza, they have no hate or harm towards anyone. No one can speak badly about a situation like that, because they want to see as many people as they can be released and be rescued from Gaza. But until all of them are rescued, until every single one of those 239 are released, that's when these families can sleep well at night. So until then, if it's just 1, if it's 50, if it's more than that, anything less than the 239, they say they will continue to come out here and continue to be a voice for every single one of them. I think that's one of the most inspiring parts when I speak to family members. Although they mention their loved one, whether it's their child, whether it's their mother, their aunt or uncle, they say, I'm a voice for them, but let's not just focus on them. Let's talk about all of the other hostages that are also in Gaza right now. And so it's definitely a lot of people coming together and holding each other up. And they say they'll continue to do that even if this hostage deal does come to fruition.